5 on your Money Now. Wall Street did not like the new news of tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China.
Yeah, stocks dropped pretty dramatically right when the market opened this morning. The Dow fell about 700 points at one point, but the indices did rebound throughout the day. They were all down, but not by huge numbers. The Dow fell about 122 points. The Nasdaq, which is more tech heavy, down 235. The S&P falling just about 46. So Mike Armstrong from Armstrong Advisory Group joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you, Mike. So no secret that Wall Street does not like this uncertainty, right? So we saw that big drop. What we do know for sure is ultimately if businesses have to take in these tariffs, it's customers who will pay, right?
Yeah, eventually that would be the assumption, because if I'm a business that sells avocados, I'm probably not willing to take a 25% smaller profit on those avocados going forward. But as you saw, the tariffs on both Mexico and Canada have now been at least extended for, I think, the next 30 days, but it's February.
Put
so
on pause.
Maybe 28.
Yeah.
And the timing of that's important because the announcement on Mexico was made while trading was open. The announcement on Canada's delays came after the markets closed, so they didn't have time to react to the positive news for investors on a suspension of tariffs on Canada. So we'll see where things go tomorrow, but for the moment, negative reaction only for the time being.
I mean, Canada and Mexico are both huge trading partners.
Massive.
Is one more important than the other to investors, do you think?
I suppose it depends on what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, certain automakers have plants right, around. If you have a heavy presence in Detroit, plants in both, but a lot of them are, probably closer with Canada, some others with Mexico. So no, I don't think universally you can say which is more important.
Yeah. So there was some reporting in Sharman's story at the top of the hour that some economic experts believe if these really did go into effect, they could eventually lead to a recession. Do you believe with that, or is that a little bit of a doomsaying?
I do. When markets were reacting earlier this morning, before we knew anything about suspensions with Mexico, my point was if this is real, then this is an underreaction from markets.
So they were banking on him pulling back from the brink.
That's my take. That's what investors were betting on is, hey, this is fundamentally maybe not as serious as they're announcing right now, and we'll see where things go. And in my view, those investors so far were correct.
Well, for the average investor, is there anything people should or should not be doing to navigate these rough waters?
I think the lesson is we can't possibly react to every one of these announcements that we hear, because this is likely not to be the end of it. I'm sure that the tariff focus will be somewhere else next. And I think the key lesson is taking a step back, thinking about how and if this directly affects you, and not making gut instinct moves one direction or another.
And quickly while we have you, so the reaction this morning was, I would assume, largely based on China and Mexico, because when it looked like those were being pulled back, the market kind of rallied. They've shrugged off China, or has our economy moved enough away from China to not be a big factor?
An additional 10% is still significant, but I think that it's an additional 10% on a lot of goods that are already facing tariffs from China. And China has developed some pretty good methods of avoiding those. Let's be clear. They've rerouted goods through other countries and made it so that they don't face it quite as frequently. So I think the very newness of a Canada-Mexico trade war and the concerns there was what markets were digesting earlier today, and we will see if that changes at all over the course of the next month.
Okay. Mike Armstrong, thanks as always for joining us.
Thank you.
I have a feeling we'll see a lot more of you.
I think we might.
Yeah.
Don't go far.
Thank you.